2020. Are you ready?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 4 of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes. We are here in Lancashire, just on the outskirts of Wigan at Three Sisters. This is a very popular track with the mini bike crowd, back here once again on this brutally fast circuit, and we are looking towards a good afternoon's racing. My name is Chris Sora, delighted to... So this, of course, is our final race of the day. Yeah, very much is a shootout, you would say. Racing will be due to be underway very shortly. And, of course, a big shout-out and hello to anybody watching the broadcast, both in the UK and overseas. So one more race to go. It's the Parker Racing Mini Bike Stock 140 Group A. And let's have a recap, if you're just joining us, as to the results of the very exciting morning qualifying session. It was Ben Lord qualifying on pole, only just from Ryan Tyers. Chase Collymore just a little bit further behind in third. Jim Lovell in fourth, less than a second covering those riders. Rhys Stevenson will start fifth, another rider to look out for as well, along with Dom Herbertson, who will line up in sixth position. Mick Lord in seventh, Billy Pearson, Scott McGibbon and Matt Davis rounding out the top 10. It was 11th for John Buckle. Joe Woodward qualified in 12th place. Heading toward the midfield, it's Daniel Pearson, Dougie Craven, Ed Peed, Carl Sanders in 16th place, Matt Lockyer, unidentified rider, in 18th position. 19th for Ben Rabicki, 20th Jake Marsh, Greg Stretch and Sebastian Barron in 22nd place. Mike Smallbones, Rob Shearer taking us down to 24th position. And then further back it's Chris McKay, Charlie Hopkins, Hevin Owen, Michael Thompson, Dan Merron, Ian Rogerson rounding out the top 30. And the final two riders on the grid, Darren Hall on the 181, Ben Nixon on 112, rounding out the field. Riders are out on track now on their formation lap, getting the tyres warmed up at the front, and looks like we're going to go straight to the grid for the usual standing start, of course. There we see the number 53 making his way around. Again, riders just warming the machines up, and you did touch on that before, Ryan. It is difficult to get back on the bike after such a long delay and get back out racing, of course. Any concerns that a lot of riders will know the injured party personally, so effectively, to use a cliche, once the visor goes down, you've almost got to shut that out of your mind. I've been there before as a rider, so it's just a case of being able to put everything else out and really getting the race face on here, because there's going to be plenty of riders looking for victory. This is going to be a very important race in terms of the championship, of course. Only one round, in effect, will count from this fourth round here at Three Sisters, so this could be a very important race.
It absolutely could. This is the moment that they all wait for, and they're all hoping that they are going to be in the best possible position for this one. There is the marshal. He lights up the green flag, and we are going to get ourselves ready once that flag drops, and we are underway for good racing. Ben Lord with a great start, and immediately Collymore, they're trying to really get aggressive there with Ryan Tyers. No chance of having that. In towards turn 2, the rise there up Lucy's Valley, and now towards turn 3. Tyers immediately looking aggressive down the inside at turn 3, but Ben Lord having absolutely none of it.
Great start there from Ben Lord, and a good clean start. Everyone stays out of trouble through the first few corners. Lord immediately leads, though. We've very much got a case of youth against experience here. And there is the 55 Ryan Tyers also in there as well, of course. Two of the big names in British Mini Bikes. Chase Collymore, of course, the young star in third, with Jim Lovell right on his tail in fourth as they make their way down Conrod Straight for the first time over the brow of the hill. Collymore looking nice and neat on the inside, but look at Lovell down the inside now. Is he going to make this move stick? Look at the 97. Yeah, he has.
Absolutely brilliant move then. Lovell up into third position. Had to mitigate the damage to those in the front two on the opening lap. Could not afford to let them get away. Into
Ooh,
turn
3
1.
abreast.
What a dive there down on the inside. I think Lovell really got a great run then as they went through. You can see he's up into the lead. Lord's on the outside, and Tyres now dives down to the inside, takes the second place away. And just like that, Ryan Tyres now still in second, but crucially, the championship leaders behind, and Lovell here would have the lead of the championship heading to Witton Mill.
Lovell had to guard that inside line going into the second corner because the 55 of Ryan Tyres looks strong. And as we go through Lunar Bend, heading towards Conrod Straight, let's see now, we've got 5 riders almost nose to tail. As we go down the inside he goes. It's going to be 2 abreast down the back straight. Collymore and Stevenson looking to get involved in this one as well. Here they come over the brow, and 97 Jim Lovell still your race leader, but it's going to be a drag race into the top corner, 9 laps to go, so still quite a long time to go in this race. Lovell looking neat at the front here, trying to break away from this group. He's got a small gap, he's just trying to make that count.
Yes, but the issue is, because they were squabbling over that lap, they have allowed, of course, Chase Collymore and also Rhys Stevenson to jump back into the pack. They're 4th and 5th position right now, and if you saw earlier on, Collymore is not afraid to make moves, and he will want to get in on this. He'll want some big points. He'll want to dispute against the big 3 here in this championship, who are all very close together right now as they go through the S's and towards that Lunar Bend, which is coming up right now. Lovell has got the most unenviable position in this race right now, leading from the front here at Three Sisters. It's very tough. Now look at Lord on the outside.
Very close for second place. He may get bulked here at the top. He's got to make this move stick down the back straight, but he's got a good toe there. Ben Lord, the number 1, tucks in. Nice riding there behind Jim Lovell, just sticking on that back wheel as he go down the hill. Still Chase Collymore and Rhys Stevenson getting involved in this. Now let's see what Lord can do. No, he has to back out of that one.
That was always going to be brave. He got himself down the inside there over at the Coward's Corner, so he's done well. Another look to the inside. He's trying again to try and pick this up. They'll go side by side to Lucy's Valley here at turn number 2. Now watch Tyres on the inside as well. We'll want to try and get in deep and try and find a way through, and he's just there. Gets the inside at turn 3. Late Apex is the king here, but Tyres doesn't matter. He's up to second again.
And nice riding there from Ben Lord. He had to concede the corner there, but rather than risk slamming the door shut and risking a collision, he knows there's still a few more laps to go in this race. Still Chase Collymore and Rhys Stevenson watching this battle in 4th and 5th. Further down it's Mick Lord, Billy Pearson, Daniel Pearson, and running up the top 10, Matt Davis and Scott McGiven. But all the action here at the front, as you'd expect in this class. The 3 experienced heads here at the front and 2 of the young up-and-coming stars, 4th and 5th position. Any one of these 5 could win the race. Still got 6 full laps to go at the end of this one as they make their way down towards the final corner, and still Jim Lovell leading as they charge through, but again Lord having a look as they go into the first corner.
Not much you can do here. Has to back out of it there. You could see the angle there was not too aggressive there on the inside. Couldn't commit. Waits for a better chance at turn 2, trying to pick it up, but again, it's just too late to the dance party to make that happen. Now, I wonder here about 1, 2, 3 Rhys Stevenson in 5th place. This could be just a waiting game right now. Just trying to bide the time, and when things get dicey, this could be the key. Tyres thinking about the inside then, going into turn number 6. Not quite there. Lunar Bend again.
There is that, of course. Sometimes when you're chasing a rider, it's a case of looking at the line, sometimes trying to find a way to get through later in the race rather than show your hand too early, you might say, as they make their way down the back straight. Once again, very much a drag race here, jostling for position rather than any real overtaking moves, you might say, as it all starts to heat up going into the final corner. Oh, very slowly just eking their way around that top corner. Collymore having a peek down the inside, but again, just backing out of that one at the moment. It's just a case, I don't think anybody's going too aggressive at this stage, but I think the last couple of laps, when they start to show their hand, this really could hot up.
This is all about positioning right now. They can't win the race from here, but they can lose it. Ben Lord covers the line on the inside then, but Ryan Tyres is going up and under. There's the look behind from Lovell. He's not comfortable there at the front of the field as Woodward jumps inside the top 10 in the number 46. But right now, you have to say, 5 riders all looking for it. Lord thinking of the inside, but Tyres is going around the outside. That's a bold move, and that is the Ryan Tyres way.
Ryan Tyres now has got to be down the inside here, trying to block that inside line, make Lord go as wide as possible, make that machine wide to get him around the outside, because Lord has got the momentum on the outside, and he's going to carry that move almost into the top corner, although, of course, Ryan Tyres has got the line. Now, it looks like Lord has been compromised a bit there, because Collymore looking threatening. He tried to go down the inside, heading now, of course, 4 laps to go. At the moment, Jim Lovell, I think he'd be hoping that there'd be a breakaway, a bit of a battle behind him so he could kind of pull away from the rest of the field. But Jim Lovell not really able to pull away at the moment. He's got a hard race at the moment to keep those riders behind him.
And this is the thing, he's been in this position before and it didn't work out the way that maybe he would have thought it, but he did get the win though in the 160s. He'll be looking to do the same in the 140s. And now looking at this, Ryan Tyres again. Is he going to go for a tyre special once more around the outside? No, not in position. Lord is being very quiet and waiting. And off.
That's Matt Davis going down, just seemed to effectively understeer off the road. Rider okay, gets back on the track. That's his second off today, not really being his day unfortunately. Plenty of action towards the edge of the top 10 with Matt Davis, of course, going down. Joe Woodward, Daniel Pearson, Dougie Craven all in there. But all of the action is here at the front as Chase Collymore this time starts to have a look. Again, just peeking down the inside. It's almost like a game of chess here. Just try not to show your hand here, or we might say poker almost, because it's you don't want to show the hand really. Still got 4 laps, 3 laps, of course, now to go. And, well, I think Lovell's done a great job so far of holding on to the lead. He'll be looking to try and make that bike as wide as possible on the final lap.
And, of course, it's now all about waiting. You've got to hope that you're in the best position. And Ryan Tyres again trying to think of the inside. He's not getting there at turn 3. Lovell is doing a fantastic job. Just tick off the laps, one after another after another. That's all that the number 97 has to do right now. Lord there in second, Tyres third, Collymore in fourth, and Stevenson there in fifth. And now you start to wonder, okay, what's the ideal? And that's a big accident there, and that might actually be a few issues more right now, trying to pick up the bike as the leaders try and go through. Collymore searching.
Rider okay with that fallen rider trying to get the bike off the course. There will be yellow flags, of course, coming into this final corner. The leader's approaching that fallen rider now, who is clearing his bike away from the track. So fortunately, that will not affect the running here at the front. 2 laps to go now. Jim Lovell, of course, an experienced rider. He will not be put out by being the race leader at this stage. All this pressure behind him. Notably, the top 5 riders all running a very fast pace here. They're all lapping under 1 minute. The 6th place Mick Lord lapping in the 1:02, so they really have dropped the rest of the top 10. Still Jim Lovell leading, 1.5 laps to go now, and this last lap's going to be very close here. Everyone just hanging on in there.
Look at Tyres.
Having a look down the inside, isn't he?
Oh,
makes it move.
This is fantastic. He took 3rd place away from Collymore at turn 2. Then at turn 6, he does the same to the championship leader, the reigning champion, Ben Lord. He now thinks about Lovell. Is it going to be 3 in a lap? Collymore's got an absolute stonker of a run now, trying to get this, and he might try and get away back here at Lord. Here as he goes through, he does up into
Lovely
second.
move.
Lord went wide, and now here comes Ryan Tyres down the inside to pick up 3rd.
Great move from Chase Collymore. He's been sitting there for the entire race and got a nice drive out of Lunar Corner to head into the final lap. Heads into 2nd place. Collymore tends to be quick down the straight. He gets a good drive out of Lunar Corner, so he's exactly where he wants to be. As we go towards the final lap, Jim Lovell has led pretty much the entire race. Everyone's got to try and get past Chase Collymore, who will be a real threat on the straight.
Oh, this is so fantastic, and now look at that. Collymore looking for the inside at turn 3. He's not quite there, but he's trying every which way to look for it right now. Ryan Tyres, don't count him out in 3rd position. 5 to the dance as they go to the Lunar Corner right now, and this is a really, really important corner now for Lovell, who's got to get a gap, and he's done so well through the mid-apex there. Ryan Tyres looks to be aggressive, but this is where Collymore really does start to shine. Lord gets a good run, Tyres gets a good run. They're almost 3 wide. Around the outside.
Collymore around the outside.
Oh my word. Has he got it?
Out.
No, he's got to be careful. Now through this next corner, the summit. Has he got it? Yes, he does. But Lovell's not going to give this up. Down the inside. Oh, this is fantastic. Tyres trying to take it. 3 to the line they go. And who's got this one over? I can't call it. It's Lovell by 7 thousandths.
Yeah, Jim Lovell in a very close race, taking the checkered flag. Chase Collymore with a great run on that final half lap, almost held on around the final corner. And yes, 7 thousandths of a second almost there. That's barely the width of a front tyre. Ben Lord in 3rd in that drag race to the finish. Ryan Tyres in 4th, Reece Stevenson. Some great racing there as the rest of the top 10 eventually make their way through. Mick Lord in 6th place. Daniel Pearson, there we see them all going through there. Daniel Pearson, Billy Pearson, Dougie Craven, Joe Woodward, Scott McGibbon, and Matt Lockyer making his way through in 12th place. Ed Peed, Carl Sanders a bit further back. Let's have a look at that final half lap or so, because Collymore was leading as we went down to a great move on the outside. This is where Lovell showing his experience here, getting down the inside into the final corner. Now he had to hold on here, of course. He's going to compromise himself on the exit, ran very wide. but was able to keep the momentum. Collymore dashing to the line. I think Ben Lord as well had visions of victory here. Here's the checkered flag, and I tell you what, Jim Lovell did very well there. He really had to hang on because he went very wide on the final corner defending from Chase Collymore. That, I think, was the... there's been some great racing this year, but this has been the race of the season. Of course, unfortunate circumstances means this is the final race of the day, but certainly worth the wait. So Jim Lovell taking a very close victory from Chase Collymore. Ben Lord in third, Ryan Tyers fourth, and the Reece Stevenson couldn't quite get involved, only a quarter of a second down though in fifth place. Mick Lord, Daniel Pearson, Billy Pearson, Dougie Craven and Joe Woodward rounding out the top 10. Very exciting final race.
That was unbelievable. The way that Lovell was able to hold the bike on the AstroTurf on the outside of the final corner. Any lesser of a rider would have put the bike down in front of everyone. Not Jim Lovell. He now takes the championship lead to Witton Mill. And crucially as well, that is an all-important win when it comes to this championship, and one that finally proves he can do it with the competition behind him, who have been effectively head and shoulders above him this season. What a time for a race win. Yeah,
Jim Lovell certainly timing that one very well. A very hard-fought race victory, and certainly had the experience to cope with those experienced, strong, aggressive riders behind him. I think a lesser rider might have caved into the pressure, but Lovell really had to work hard. It was a great move into the final corner on Chase Collymore, and really recovered well. It's a bit of a runoff on the outside there, really does affect the pace, so he did well just to hold on to that one. It was difficult to go for a block pass, you would say, but Lovell holding on well. Chase Collymore would be disappointed, I think, with second place. Fastest lap of the race, incidentally, for Collymore earlier on with 59.518. And we give Jim Lovell the benefit of the doubt here, 10th of a second. All those riders lapping within 1 minute on that final lap. Well over 2 seconds a lap quicker than the rest of the top 10. They really did push each other on.
They absolutely did, and it's proof here when you look at the fastest laps that everyone does. Chase Collymore's got the fastest lap overall, but everybody was really on it towards the end. You had the top three split by less than 1/10 of a second, the top five split by less than 1/4 of a second, and despite the fact that all five of them were fighting that close together on those bikes, it's crucial the fact as well, you need to point out, they've still finished 23 seconds ahead of the rider in 6th place, Mick Lord.
And that's what happens sometimes. When you get riders battling for position, they were very intelligent riding out there. They weren't really bar banging and cutting each other up. They were just all, it was almost like, in effect, like a cycling race where everyone stays in position, just holding on that pace until the last lap when everyone has a go for taking the victory. And just goes to show, like you say, they 23 seconds separating Reece Stevenson in 5th from Mick Lord, who came home in 6th. And a very close battle on the edge of the top 10, actually, with Daniel Pearson, Billy Pearson, Dougie Craven and Joe Woodward. Scott McGiven as well, with Matt Lockyer a little bit further behind, finishing in 12th place. A little bit overshadowed, you'd say, by that titanic battle for the lead. And let's have a recap here. Of course, Jim Lovell, your race winner, getting his way through, got a good start, of course, as well. Chase Collymore 2nd, Ben Lord, Ryan Tyers, Reece Stevenson in 5th. And they don't need me to show you or tell you about that, of course. Less than 1/4 of a second covering the top 5.
Mick Lord then taking 6th place, 23 seconds adrift there, as you can see over the page, the likes of Matt Lockyer, 12th position, up 5 places. You've got, of course, the likes of Sebastian Barron up 6. Matt Davies went down for the 2nd time today. He was down 7 for this one. The likes of Charlie Hopkins, Jake Marsh, well, they managed to round out the top 20 then.
Well, some really great racing there for that final race of the day. This, of course, was the final race of the first block of racing. We were scheduled, of course, to have 2 blocks of races today. Unfortunately, due to the accident earlier in Lentley red flag situation, it does mean that the racing has been curtailed for today. Clerk of the course determining that we've only got 50 minutes left before the track has to close.